The stone, pop the trunk and sell them O's, but the trap don't ever close. We from the south, baby. Where we always pack the chrome, put a price up on your dome, set it off and send them home. We from the south, baby. Where they come and cop them keys, where they send most of them pigs, where there ain't nothing but G's. We from the south, baby. Where we grip that wood bill, this the land of the drill. Fuck around and get killed. South side of Texas, 9th Street, where I roam. West side of the water, east end till I'm gone. Got the trap jumping, how to get another phone. Got a bitch making me dinner while the other give me down. And I be smoking on that perk, but I ease my mind. I be water whipping, bitch, I need to grind. Put the swingers on them whips and swing them all the time. And put the diamonds in our mouth and then we let them shine. We from the south, baby, at the bottom of the map. But we on top of everything from the drip down to the trap. I always hear them talking, but it ain't nothing but cat. South side, third coast, baby, you know where we at. We from the south, baby. Got a pocket full of stone, pop the trunk and sell them O's, but the trap don't ever close. We from the south, baby. Where we always pack the chrome, put a price up on your dome, set it off and send them home. We from the south, baby. Where they come and cop them keys, where they send most of them pigs, where there ain't nothing but G's. We from the south, baby. Where we grip that wood bill, this the land of the drill. Fuck around and get killed. I'm from that XOUTH inside the East Southside. They shoot you on the dance floor, you ain't Trae outside. We rap Southside, to my death Southside. We was on the same block you tried, left him in the Southside. Southside, they hunt you. King Commando and Rambo, anything for the boss. These niggas shoot out the Lambo. What's his head light up a camo, how we doing this up? Bring your bitch ass round here, you would not make it up. We bring it rest, ride or die. Y'all like ain't trying to close this shit, we like homicide. Southside, bad moves, we worldwide. Southside, we worldwide. Free for deep down and they be thugging on the south. We from the south, baby. Got a pocket full of stone, pop the trunk and sell them O's, but the trap don't ever close.
See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. Twisted nigga, ain't no love in them streets. It's eye for eye and do or die, cause everybody wanna eat. It ain't no loyalty with niggas, that's just what they say. See, every night you gotta pray to keep them niggas out your way. See, when this game gets cold, all the niggas gon' fall. Everybody one designed to do the time and the show. I seen them niggas give up niggas, they was claiming they ace. But when them niggas caught their case, they threw their time in their face. That's when them niggas brought that pen and they told on their friends. See the hearts of men and men, that's just something you can't depend. See, them streets don't love a soul, and them real niggas know the way they really feel about you, bitch, that niggas don't show it. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live my life. See, the streets don't love nobody, cause I just wanna live. See, all my niggas love me cause I give them the game. Every nigga ain't no G, they ain't been living the same. I tell the truth about the streets, ain't no.
What's good? What's good? Coffee time. It is not coffee time, man. Look, y'all know what it is. I already see people that definitely like the live. I appreciate y'all double tapping that screen. That's what's up. Showing good positive energy on a night like this. You know what I'm saying? When I'm really busy, but I made time to come live for y'all anyway, even though I'm out and about. You see what I'm saying? Let's start this right off with, Zero to Crooked. A lot of people might not know these rappers, but they're straight out of Houston. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people should know Trae because he was signed with T.I. Now they do a relief gang or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Me and Trae go way back. That's one of my partners, you know what I'm saying? Uh, him and, about 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying? They did something that really a lot of Houston didn't like, which was Trae and his brothers, they jumped on, they jumped Zero. They jumped him. So, after 3 years later, Zero, I guess he done sat on it all this time and people still bringing it up. You know how messy people is, trolls. Because Ro ain't on the internet. He said it today for himself. He said he ain't nowhere on the internet. You know what I'm saying? He on the internet because of other people, not because of himself. You see what I'm saying? So, he called Candace because he felt like nobody could could make that fight happen. They was thinking James Prince can make that fight happen, but they feel like Prince wouldn't be able to do that job. You know what I'm saying? So he called Candace over there, and he said it in front of Candace, set the fight up. He want to do it for charity because his mom had passed when he was young, and she died from lupus. So he just want to get back with Trae the Truth in that ring, and at the same time he want to donate to charity. He want the fight to go to charity. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we get all up into this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all double tap that screen, hit the like button. You want to become a member on Coffee Time? It's $2.99. You know what I'm saying? You can always share the live for Coffee Time. You can always hit that super chat for Coffee Time. And most definitely, you can hit that Cash App for Coffee Time. And it's always in the chat. God's child be taking care of that for coffee. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, God's child, so much. Salute to the people that's in the chat. What's up, God's child and Buck so far? What's good with it? Hope all is good with y'all. But back to the content. Ro is really, original screwed up clique. He's original, So when they whatever dispute they had, had going about, man, it's a long little thing. He say, she say, and then I know for sure his brother got caught up with Zero. That was around 2000 or whatever. They went down for some drink, but his brother saying he wouldn't claim his drink, but Zero went to the penitentiary too. You know what I'm saying? He ended up going to state jail for it. I knew 2 people that was locked up with him in that same state jail when he was doing his time. So anyways, he get out and you know what I'm saying? Things just go bad for him, because him and Trae, Zero and Trae, people that don't know, they was Gorilla Mob. And together, like I told y'all, Yellow Beezy and mo3 and all that together, they stand. United, they fall. You know what I'm saying? Together, they stand. Divided, they fall. Let me say that right. Anyways, that's how Zero and Trae is. But they didn't, they got talent. Both of them got talent. And both of them got much talent together. A lot of people want to see another Gorilla Mob app. You know what I'm saying? For real, to tell the truth about it. But they so at odds because Trae and his brothers, they beat for Zero one night, jumped him and all of that. I'm sure y'all heard about it. I think we did a live on it too, matter of fact. We talked about it. So now, 3 years later, I guess Zero's still thinking about that. And he say he want the ring because it ain't gonna be no 4-on-1 in the ring, it's 1-on-1. And you know what? To keep this stuff real, I feel what he's saying because he got jumped. And I'm not taking no sides in this, not at all. Like I said, I know who Roe is. I done seen him before plenty of times, several times. But I know Trae. I know Trae personally. So, I'm not going to get in between the middle of that right there. But I can tell you this, that I think that, Zero, he see what Trae do. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, Trae run relief game. Trae ain't just, when he signed with T.I., Trae really handled business, man. Relief gang is worth M's now, multi-millions. You know what I'm saying? Trae didn't really he really didn't did his bread something like they ain't messing with it no more. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, I'm not saying that Ro jealous of that or nothing like that, because, Ro got plenty of talent. He say he got 2-3 albums he ready to drop. But before he could drop these albums, he need to get that off his chest. So he told them, 6 months from now, Valentine's Day, let's get in the ring. I ain't heard nothing from Trae yet. That's why I haven't brought it to y'all. Trae haven't responded on it yet. I've been checking. He ain't responded. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, Trae, man, the new Trae, I think he'll turn that fight down. The old Trae will take that fight quick. I don't know who Zero thinking he called out, man. Zero the Crooked. Let me tell you something about Trae, bro. Do you know that's Dinky little brother, dog? Do you know that's Dinky little brother, man? Southside Dinky, man. You don't think Trae got something? Bro, I'm going to tell you like this. I seen Dinky hit somebody in the jaw, and, man, it made it didn't look like a jaw no more. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his little brother right there, bro. And I understand that y'all had y'all little beef back then, but you wait 3 years later to bring it back up. People had stopped talking about it. I ain't gonna lie, people had stopped talking about it. And you know what? Your fans be egging a lot of stuff on. That's who egging it on. It's your fans. What's up, Purple Kisses? What's good? Salute to you out there. I see you in the chat. What's going down? Everything good on this end. Everything good. We're just going over this Trae and Ro real quick situation, man. Zero called Trae out to, a boxing match. Zero still feeling some type of way. That's what that is from when they jumped him. And the average person can't blame them. You'll feel some type of way too if some people jumped you, and they used to be your homeboys, used to be the same people you hang with and ride with and smoke with and drink with. Then they done jumped on you, you know what I'm saying? And coming down after the years down the line, you steady thinking about this jump. They done jumped you. So he just trying to get it off his mind. That's all. He trying to get it off his mind. I hope they work that situation out, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't need to go any other type of way. I hope they get in the ring and take care of it, you know what I'm saying? Take care of it that way and not the street way, For sure, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I really gotta say on that, because like I said, Trae my partner, I'm not getting in between that, you know what I'm saying? I know Trae. I don't know Ro personally, but I know Trae for sure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not getting in the middle of that right there at all. But yeah, let's switch this combo. Let's get up on Trae and Ro and get on with some other content. So everybody know the mo3 sect, the bloggers, ain't allowed at that trial. They ain't allowed to go up in there. You know what I'm saying? They can't go in there. That's out of there. Everybody know that. So the thing about that is, hey, what's up, biggest? What's good? Hope all is good, bro. Everything good. Everything good. Hold up real quick. So, tell me this, y'all. Tomorrow, when they start that trial, the news media is gonna be filming it, correct? That's what they said, news only. No mo3 sector bloggers, right? They made it bad for our bloggers. It was a blogger that came way from another state just to go in there and take care and be there for that trial. And guess what? She traveled all that distance for nothing. It's other people. I always mess it up for other people. You know what I'm saying? But what I think happened was see, when Ratchet went live, the one that been trolling them so much, following them around so much, they called up there and said that. Messed it up for everybody, but trying to act like ain't nothing happened. Coffee time, see all that. I tell you that now, I know what's going on. I'm not crazy by a long shot. You see what I'm saying? And ain't nobody talking about it. That's one thing about it. It take coffee time to bring this up. They not gonna get on here and say that they seen that play at all. At all. But they blaming it on him. And he ain't even the one that did it, man. They called on that man. They called to the courthouse and said what he was filming in the back. That was behind him. He was talking on the phone, you know what I'm saying, to his live audience or whatever. And they called up there and told him that man was filming. Boy, that's crazy, man. I done heard it all, y'all. On this app, I done heard it all, man. For real. No doubt. They say, let me see, I can go to the chat now. I couldn't see the chat, my bad. Yeah, share the live. I do that. I appreciate that, God's child. What's up? Who is that? Day one was a shit show. Hey, what all happened? What I missed, Dawn? What did I miss? I know I missed something. I missed something about the trial today. They didn't start no trial today, though, right? They should have just picked the jury if they got finished doing that. Did they pick the jury, right, y'all? What else they did? What I missed? Hold up. You know what? Don't worry about it.
Thanks for joining us on Fox Local and YouTube or wherever you may be watching any Fox Sports streaming. We are continuing to follow the jury selection process in this death, the murder of Dallas rapper mo3, also known as Melvin Noble. He was killed on a Dallas highway back in 2020, and now we're finally in the judicial process. Want to bring in Allison Richardson and Sean Rapp. Allison specializes in getting lawyers ready for the jury selection process. That's what's going on right now. Sean, we were talking in the newsroom about some news happening over, I guess, right before the lunch break with this. Let's just set the scene first. This murder happening in broad daylight and is alleged murder for hire involving another Dallas rapper, Yella Beezy, who goes by Marquise Conway.
Yeah, so beef between them. That beef was well known, well publicized for some time. And the allegations by the state is that this is how Yella Beezy took care of that beef at the end by hiring Keelan White to carry out the crime. We've denied it. White's not said anything yet. He's already serving a 10-year federal prison sentence for a felon in possession of a firearm. He's not said anything that we know of yet. We don't know about any kind of recordings, jail conversations, but we believe there were really no text messages or trail of evidence leading up or the days after this incident happened, other than a $40,000 withdrawal from Yella Beezy's bank account by Yella Beezy. But for rappers to withdraw that kind of money, for any kind of entertainer to withdraw that kind of money is no big deal. The bank gave it to him. But what happened today is interesting in that first the judge barred, I believe, 7 bloggers from covering the trial.
Yes, that's what I understand as well. Well, many times a judge does not want anyone recording in the courtroom because there could be a lot of issues with that. And in particular, if you have prospective jurors, they don't want their private information out in the public. And so if those bloggers were recording, I can understand why the judge would take issue with that.
And we don't want the jurors' private information out in the public. That is like the critical part of our judicial process, Allison, I believe, is for the participation of citizens in determining the guilt or innocence of their neighbors.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's something that trial by jury has been called the cornerstone of our democracy. So not only...
So let me get this right. They were pulling out their camera, trying to get interviews with the dang jury. Is that for real, man? Y'all bullcrap. Stop playing. Man, they know they ain't that smart. They didn't know that they can't do that. I didn't even know that. Coffee Time ain't know that. I promise I ain't know that.
Not only do we want to encourage people to serve on a jury, we want to encourage them by letting them know they'll be safe in that process.
Allison, last week when the judge basically set the terms for the jury selection process, a pool of 77, is that common for a murder trial?
It is common to have that size of a jury pool for first-degree murder. In this case, you have the publicity issues as well. And so, we'll see if it will be a sufficient number or not.
That's one of the things I was thinking. 77, interesting number, but you have to account for some people who will come with excuses, for others who will say they know too much about this case, even if they haven't, because one of the issues in our society, I believe, is that people really don't want to serve. Many people don't want to serve on juries. So then you have each side with their own set of preemptive strikes, and you want to make sure you have enough to get 12 people plus your alternates.
Exactly. So in this case, they'll be seating a panel of 12 jurors if it gets to trial. Each side has 10 strikes. So that takes you all the way to 42.
Yeah.
And then if you have people who show up and maybe they're exempt because of age, or maybe they have proof that they have plans to travel outside the country or something like that.
Medical procedures that can't be moved.
Exactly. There are a number of reasons people could be excused up front before they even start the voir dire process.
Bree West, who is representing Kewan White, the first trial that's supposed to start, something could change, but as of right now, things are going as normal. Bree West last week asked the judge for 2 hours for voir dire. The judge only granted 1 hour and a half for both sides. And then she also asked for a whole new pool if they get through this pool on Monday and have a different pool on Tuesday, and the judge denied that. What does that say?
Right now.
Dang. I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to record this commercial. Hold up.
That's a couple of things. I mean, the 1.5 hours, you can learn a lot about a panel in 1.5 hours if you're organized about it. And so Bree West is very experienced. I'm sure she can do that. Of course, you always like more time.
Yeah, you want to take what you get. Yeah.
Exactly. But so she asked for the 2 hours. She didn't get it. But I'm sorry, what was your second one?
So, and she asked for a new panel, a new pool
right.
on Tuesday if they get through this.
Well, what that tells me is she may be anticipating that she will, we use the term bust a panel, that she might be anticipating that she will bust this panel, which means that they will go all the way through the panel members and not have enough people to sit an entire jury. Mm-hmm. So if that's what she's anticipating, then she's asking for it in advance so that they will be prepared to move forward with the process.
Sean, the behind the scenes of this, I mean, you have been involved in the judicial process, so has Allison, but the viewers, and I always say this when I talk to lawyers, a lot of viewers only know Law and Order. They only know, the cookie cutter 30-minute.
So what they saying is Kewan's still going first, right? Am I lost, y'all? Let me know, because like I say, I've been gone. I missed a lot. I had to take care of business.
Show. Talk about the uniqueness and importance of Marquise Conway, who is Yellow Beezy, who was accused of the murder for hire. Mm-hmm. The judge told him to be there and be ready today. Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, we don't know the why yet. I mean, could it be that there's some negotiations taking place that we don't know about? Maybe there's going to be a plea, and maybe someone who is a defendant will suddenly turn state's evidence, and then Mr. White will be on trial, and Mr. Noble won't be. We don't know yet. But I think the judge is, I'm going to use this term, hedging all bets and having everybody ready for anything that might happen. Allison, what do you say?
No, I completely agree with that. It appears that they are strongly encouraging a plea deal, and they're preparing for that eventuality, but that doesn't mean that's what they'll get. I mean, the prosecution may have set a deadline for him to make a decision as to whether or not he'll accept a plea deal. We don't know what's been offered. We don't know any of the information, but we don't know that either.
Right. But just looking at him, based on the video that we've seen of him in the courtroom, doesn't appear that he's made his mind up either way. I mean, just looking at him and watching how he's looking at the proceedings, looking at Mr. White, we don't know.
And you're looking at video from last week. That is Yellow Beezy sitting in court. That is Keywan White, the alleged gunman in this. This happened again in the broad daylight, and there's video of it happening. And so a lot of evidence for the prosecution. Sean, I want to ask you this. This is a rap beef trial, however you want to put it, right?
Sure.
Another part, and granted, this might not be as important if in the Keywan White trial as it is in the Yellow Beezy trial, of the rap lyrics. The prosecution has said multiple times that this beef played out over songs that were public, talking about an alleged bounty being put on Melvin Noble's head, mo3, who was killed in 2020, and then celebrating it after. The judge allowed certain songs in, not all songs in. How important could those songs be to this case?
Well, you'll have to analyze the lyrics. I don't think they're important to the jurors, though, because the jurors aren't going to determine guilt or innocence based on those songs. They're going to have to follow the law and the instructions they are given. Now, in terms of how the state chooses to use those lyrics to press their claim of, see, they celebrated what happened. Look at these lyrics. Listen to these lyrics. It's what happened on the street. And listen to the message behind, here's why we did this. That's what they're going to have to try to use the lyrics for. All the songs are maybe not as pertinent as others.
For sure.
And so it's the judge's responsibility to decide, to weigh it all, decide what works, what doesn't, what can be included without simply being inflammatory. The defendant still has rights.
I also think that the attorneys on both sides will be exploring that during jury selection. They will want to know if the prospective jurors, what their feelings are with regard to rap music, what their feelings are with regard to how seriously they might take those lyrics. I mean, one of the things, there's an old Johnny Cash song. I shot a man in Reno to watch him die. I would bring out an example of something like that, maybe with the jury, and say, so what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that means they should have arrested him after this, or what have you? Because you're doing two things in jury selection. First of all, you're trying to find bias, but there's a small element also of conditioning the jurors for what's about to take place in the trial.
Okay.
Opening that door.
Yeah, because you're not going to have a panel of 12, 20, or 30-something-year-olds.
No.
You're not, right? Who know this music.
It would be unlikely.
Yeah, it would be highly unlikely. You could have a panel with no 20-year-olds.
Right.
I mean, we don't know how many people showed up. And bouncing off of that and talking about how public this case has been, how much public interest we've seen in this. The judge also saying last week that Detective Barnes, who was a key part of this investigation, at least for the prosecution, even though he has a wealth of, Sean, you've worked with him, even though he has a wealth of knowledge about the rap scene in Dallas, her ruling that he cannot be an expert if this goes to trial in the realm of rap music. Of course, he's still going to testify. But then saying a professor can be an expert. And that professor said something that you were talking about, taking the songs literal. E, in his testimony, said that these rappers are playing characters. They don't really are talking about murdering people or what have you. But Detective Barnes, in those day-long hearings that you and I have been talking about, he said, "But this happened. It's the difference between rapping about it and then rapping about it, and then what you said happened.
When fantasy becomes reality, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, but he's a detective.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of his being an expert,
For sure.
he is a detective, a professor, an academician. This is what he studies. This is what he teaches. There's a difference in those two professions. I'm a journalist, and there's some things I can know a lot about. Does not qualify me as an expert in that category. Is that right or not?
That's absolutely true. And, another thing I thought about as well is they can still draw in information about the lyrics and how they might relate to the outcomes that they observed without it being a comment on the actual lyrics or that type of thing. One of the things that I've noticed about this trial is that there is the trial for Marquise Conway has a very long witness list.
Very long.
And, you have to make decisions at some point about where you will, limit the trial or make sure that it's focused on the most pertinent information. Or you will have a trial that may last months.
But you do that as you edit as you go, and you're weighing every day how we came out today, how you think we're doing as a defense or as the prosecution. Do we need all these witnesses that we put on this list? Maybe not at this point, because
it could be a scare tactic, right? For the other side of, they have this person and this person. I didn't think they were going to add this person to their list. I want to break down, of course, the Yella Beezy case side of things is getting way more attention because of the rap lyrics, because of the. My question is, with the lawyers today doing voir dire, do they kind of have to have a strategy of not talking so much about the person who's not on trial, or is that part of this? You know what I'm saying? Like Keywan White is the trial that the jury is trying to be seated for. How much of this you gotta still talk about it in its totality, right?
Well, I think you have to talk about Yella in order to put White on the stand, to try him. You can't talk about his role without talking about the alleged role of Yella Beezy. So he is going to be part of all conversations about Keywan White, I believe.
So yes, but I also believe Keywan White, maybe they don't focus as much on the literal lyrics or things like that in that trial, but absolutely, they're completely connected. One follows the other.
And at some point, the question is going to be asked, did he pay you?
Now, one question, big question, and we talked in the newsroom about this, and none of us are experts in this part, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it not a little intimidating having the other person in the courtroom? I mean, Marquise Conway, Yella Beezy, is sitting in the courtroom during this. He's not the person that the jury is being sat for, but I'm sure they're asking questions that relate to him. Could that not be intimidating to the jury? Or a juror, if they're knowledgeable about, if I'm a Dallas County resident and I know about rap and I know that guy in the audience, is that not weird or is that common?
Yeah, but first, where is he sitting?
That's true.
Is he not sitting, here's the gallery, he's not sitting in front of the wall at the banquet chairs behind the defense table?
That's where he's been sitting every day.
Okay, so he's sitting in the area where defendants and their attorneys sit.
Correct.
I think his being there, his lawyers have to be there as well for this jury.
Yep.
They want to hear what's happening in every inch of this case, and he needs to hear what's happening to help with his defense.
For sure.
Well, I think he, obviously has a right to be there, but to your point about whether or not it might be intimidating to the jurors, it depends on how they view it.
Right? Yeah.
It depends on how they view it. I mean, some of them might find it interesting in a positive way, that they have a celebrity in the room. They might enjoy that a little bit. Other people may look at the violence in, being alleged and have some fear about it. So, when I heard about the judge taking this action
with the bloggers.
Yes, with the bloggers, then it made me think that judge is going above and beyond to protect the prospective jurors.
And maybe just control her courtroom period with
before
7
it gets out of hand, right? Let's talk about how, this isn't Collin County. We're used to being in the courtroom in Dallas County, a little more access. But the growth of media where, you're trying to also let people have their First Amendment rights, right? But I mean, these bloggers and everything's alleged until, we see evidence, but the bloggers, it's not uncommon for a blogger to maybe see somebody walking out and try to ask them questions, not having the journalistic knowledge to, hey, anybody who walks in and out of here today, we can't talk to because they could be a jerk. Mm-hmm. Talk about just the evolution of it.
Well, I would imagine. I would imagine that the judge gave instructions at the very beginning and said, do not talk to prospective jurors, anybody for any side. And if there was, if anybody crossed that line even a little bit, they could be held in contempt. I mean, that would be a serious misstep.
And to give those folk who are watching us right now an idea, Allison, I've been covering trials, in that courtroom. Get on the elevator, and the very jurors I've been looking at, and they've been looking at me, I don't even say good morning.
Yeah, you can.
I literally don't, because I don't ever want to be accused of any way of trying to influence a juror. For sure.
Tampering with a jury.
Tampering with a juror.
That's right.
So those are rules that you have to follow.
We're on stream, so we can talk. I worked in Jacksonville, Florida, and we were covering a federal trial involving a member of Congress. And journalists are in the courtroom, and so you're still logging juror information and stuff, right? A juror was dismissed, and so they sent one of our reporters to try to see if that juror would talk because they were dismissed. And our investigative reporter got the list wrong and sent him to a current juror's house. And I guess we kind of looked alike. Because the next day I was called to the judge's stand, and said, you left your business card on the current juror's home. I was like, that wasn't me. And it ended up not being me.
And you were glad?
Yeah, I was glad. And I'm happy because when the judge found out who the reporter was, he was a very well-respected reporter, and he was like, oh, he made a mistake. But you can't, we've been on elevators with jurors. You just don't know, right? And so you add the element of new journalists or new media, as I should probably call it. They don't know those rules or may not
adhere to those same rules. There have been times,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all now. They don't know those rules. Nah, they don't know those rules. That's the mo3 sector bloggers, man. They ain't know what the hell was going on, man. Them people there, they up there just trying to compete with each other about this mo3 case, and they just did some crazy stuff, especially if they was filming a jury, asking them for interviews or any of that old weird stuff, for sure. That's crazy.
Really, when jurors, though, as cases have been dismissed or come to its end, jurors have been chased across parking lots.
Yeah,
and so now judges give great admonition to those jurors about you don't have to talk if you don't want to, et cetera, at the end of those trials, because you want, again, citizen participation. You need it for our system. We need that.
Yes, we do. And I've spoken with jurors many times after trials, particularly in civil trials. Mm-hmm. And we are always we defer to them. We're very polite. We never harass them or anything. Mm-hmm. We always let them know this is entirely your choice. We do it for the research end of it. We are very interested in learning how they came to, how the deliberation took place, right, what the process was, and all of that. But they don't have to say a word. And if they say no, no means no.
Right. And we too want that same information. We used to, many years ago, Fox 4 News at 9, we would bring in the big cases. We'd bring the lawyers in from the winning side. Let's talk about it. We try to get jurors to come in. Sometimes they'd come in, mm-hmm, and we talk live in studio. Heather Hayes, Steve Egan, Clarice Tinsley, about how you came to these decisions. What was the deliberation like? It is fascinating.
Yeah,
to knowing what happens in that jury.
And talk about how every jury is totally different, right? Yeah. It's not the same. People see a verdict in any case, and how did they get to that? Or what in your time working with juries and studying juries? What is there any consistency, or is everything just it depends on that case? It depends on how the case was presented to them?
Well, there are some consistencies, some things you can, for example, when we design a mock trial, there are some things that we know we want to test going into it, things that could be consistent across different cases. But I will tell you what one jury finds in one place might be entirely different from a jury 40 miles away. Venue is really key.
Venue is key. Then the demographics of those two areas makes a difference in how that jury is going to be seated and then how that jury is going to come to its conclusions.
And I mean, the main name in this, Marquise Conway Yellow-Beezy, is from Dallas, from Oak Cliff. I'm gonna be transparent. I don't know where Kewan White is from. I know Melvin Noble, the person who was killed, was from North Dallas. And so, I mean, you have not just a rap beef, but local guys who are involved. And so that, some people in this jury pool may know of them or know their family. I mean, just depends. I mean, I know 77 out of how many people live in Dallas County is a big difference.
All right. You just have to wait and see what happens with this jury pool. I mean, I think because jurors cannot talk to each other about the case, they're not supposed to, while the case is in trial. And so the first conversation is after they've gotten the charge and they retire and they have a four-person, and that person says, let's take a vote, guilty or innocent. And then it starts from there. That's about the only consistency I think you can count on, right? Personalities take control in the conversation. Is that right?
They do. Yeah. And sometimes they get in that the deliberation room, and they look at each other, and sometimes they'll take an initial vote, and sometimes they just have open discussion, and then but a lot of times they're surprised at what the charge says. Many times the language in the charge is very different from what they thought they would be deciding in this case.
Okay.
So they read through the charge first a lot of times, and then they get over their surprise about maybe something in the charge, and then they might take a vote or discuss it, but that's how they start to see is there a consensus. And many times they might be surprised that they saw the trial a whole different way than somebody sitting right next to them throughout the course of the trial.
That's the beauty of the jury system, though.
It is.
Right. And then you got to hash that out and come to a mutual agreement. Somebody else, no, this is how it was, and this is how we should vote. And that actually happens.
And it takes time. It could take a few hours. It could take a few days.
When you consider the weight of the responsibility, it should take time. It should take
no matter what the case is. A lawyer in the courtroom told me everything is going as planned. So, I mean, that could change, but everything's going as planned. They're going through the voir dire process. They officially started at like 10:30. I know court started at 9, but they officially started the jury selection process about 10:30. So, we're at 1:30 almost.
I was raised to think many generations ahead.
I wonder if they've taken a lunch break or not.
I have not heard about a lunch break. And now, I don't know if that pause with the blogger issue turned into a lunch break, because the blogger issue was around 11:20-ish before you went on our newscast. So, if a jury is seated today, then trial starts 9 a.m. tomorrow. Then you got opening statements.
So if there's going to be a plea deal, remember, it can happen at any time.
Right. It can happen tomorrow morning.
It can happen at any time during the trial,
yeah.
even. So we'll just have to watch. That's an added element of drama to this particular case, I think, because a lot of people are wondering, what will White do? He's already doing time.
Yeah.
And if this really happened, is he going to keep the code of the streets and just take the time, whatever happens? Or is he going to say, hey, hold on a minute? I mean, that's part of the drama here.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a huge decision for him. He's got to look at it like, am I going to make this decision that could give me more time in prison, or am I going to make a decision? And if he agrees to do that, then he may be agreeing to testify, for the prosecution.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that would definitely have to be part of it.
Well, yeah.
I would think so. And if that's the case, then what might the consequences be of that?
Right. Now, the question is that I know the judge told all parties involved to be ready, right? Let's just say, we're just talking, let's say a deal is reached and he agrees to testify. Does that delay the start? I mean, they would have to do jury selection for Marquise Conley.
Start over again.
Then yeah,
Right? You have to send out notices. That's going to be a few months process, I would guess.
Well, it just depends on how the judge has scheduled it.
Okay.
Because there are panels of people who are coming into the courtroom for trials.
Right.
But, I mean, you don't just call down there and say, hey, can you send up 77 jurors, you know?
And we don't know, does she have another trial already scheduled on her calendar? What's in the future for her?
that's true.
You know? But yeah, it would be, this panel would not be considered for Della Beasy.
No, not at all. It would be a very different panel, but have they already scheduled it? We don't know.
Right.
And so a lot of
It's been 6 years.
yeah, that too. Now, what does that say? I mean, the fact, because we have some perfect example, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, it happened last year, and we were already at
The caveat or the asterisk there is Collin County does not have the caseload. But in Dallas, Allison will agree, the average case like a homicide is about 2 years coming to trial. We're 4 years beyond that, albeit COVID was in the middle of that.
Yeah.
We are still 6 years from this happening. And that is something unusual, I will say, in Dallas County.
6 years is a long time. I'm not even talking about like, person having a fair trial. Just 6 years is a long time in general. Now we're finally here. Now we're waiting to see, will any of this be interrupted now?
Billy Shamir, our serial killer, was 2 years, more or less.
Right now, you can save on every new vehicle.
It is a long time, and I wonder if it takes a little bit of the shock value off of what happened. I mean, because a lot of people remember that video of
Right, yeah.
someone jumping out of a car on I-35 with a rifle and hunting someone down. I mean, that's something that can stay top of mind for a while, but 6 years, long time.
And of course, the arrests weren't immediate. You know, we have to consider all of that too. But it's been a long time since it happened. And it's been a long time, I believe, since the charges have come, indictments have come down.
My question, in your experience working with juries, talking to jurors, how much of it, the judge says, don't go watch the news, or did you hear anything in the past about this? How much of the human element, and like you said, some people rap might not be their flavor of the month, but have seen coverage of this and just like, I still think I can be impartial. Like, have you gotten any feedback from jurors in cases similar to something like this where it has had a lot of media attention and they say, I've seen stuff, but I can still be impartial?
Sure. I mean, that's the big question. You're trying to figure out not just if people have seen information about it, because we expect that most of them will have seen information on the media, in the media. But what you really want to know is, can they still listen to both sides of the case? And if they are to the point that they are entrenched, they cannot listen to it. I mean, sometimes people may say that if they just don't want to serve on the jury.
Correct.
But I don't see that very often, really. I really see that people are honest about it. But if you just ask them, do you think you could be fair? They don't want to look like they're an unfair person in front of everyone. So they're probably going to say yes. So you have to be a little more nuanced in your questioning.
And in this video, from what we see, its shock factor is there. It's on the interstate in the middle of the day. But you can't really identify the gunman.
He's wearing a ski mask.
We've all seen the video, so can I still be impartial? Yeah, because I can't say he did it based on what I see. Give me some more information. That's what you want as the attorneys in this case.
So we're halfway through the day with jury selection. We're waiting for any type of update. Sean Rabb, your final.
Well, that pretty much caught me up right there. Dang, that's crazy. Man, I did not know they was doing all of that at that courthouse today. Ain't nobody hit me up and tell me nothing. I ain't gonna even lie. That's crazy stuff, man. Dang trolls gotta come tell you. You know the trolls don't miss nothing. Shoot, they always gonna keep their ear to the goddamn streets. For real, they waiting to let you know. Trust me. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I think this case finna take off, man. And I think Keywan gonna tell ain't nothing changing with me. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've been saying all this time, I stand on it. Coffee stand on what he done said. You know what I'm saying? I just hope they get justice for mo3 with whoever had something to do with it. I mean, out of all the people they say it was, if it was really that, then, you know, I feel like they need to be locked up and held accountable too. For real. You know what you did. People been trying to hide this and hide that. Like they don't know this and know that, but coming to find out in the end of it, they know a whole lot of stuff. That's why, I don't know who pumps our heads up to say yellow walking, but I don't see how. I really don't see how. Not with Keywan and Devin, both of them telling, I don't see how. I really don't see how. Especially if they bring up his name. If they bring up his name, that's messed up. If both of them say his name, he out of there. He cooked. If both of them say his name, he cooked. He cooked if one of them say his name. But if both of them say his name, well, he fried. Put it like that. If both of them say his name, he fried. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but y'all gonna see. And don't say Coffee Time didn't call it. Don't say I didn't say nothing. There's no way the shooter's gonna get away and the person that's supposed to have paid for the hit. The shooters go down and the person that paid for the hit and the shooter's even saying that that's who paid for the hit. Then yeah. Keywan quiet right now, but he finna talk. When Keywan open up his mouth, it's gonna be game over. The other beats better hope both of them don't say nothing or haven't said nothing. But I'm telling y'all now, Devin is the witness that they talking about using against Yella. Cause when Devin came from the feds, they picked up Yella 4-5 days later. Like I told y'all earlier, I'm still standing on that. I remember. And when they picked him up, I did a live on it. I said Devin had to tell. Keywan hadn't even made it to Dallas, what's the name yet. I did a live and I said that Devin had to tell, because if y'all notice, Devin got here and then the following 4-5 days, they got a warrant for Yella Beezy picking him up. So I've been connected that right there long ago. So Devin gonna be the one to testify and tell him for sure. Keywan just gonna add juice to it. I'm telling you, man, watch. We've been waiting on this moment. We're gonna see. We gonna see. I got King. Bucks say tech. Oh, did he? Oh, I missed all of that. So I wasn't looking at the live. All right, Buck. I appreciate it. I'm on the phone that I got my what's the name? So I can't check and tell right now. I have to get off this phone that I'm on. But yeah, shout out to you, Buck, for what I can't see it, man. But I shout out to you for whatever it may be, Buck. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Good looking night. Yeah, but anyways, what was I telling y'all about? Man, I promise that's why, like, when I'm saying things, I hate to look at, I promise I do. I hate to look at the chat because I'm going to go to wondering in that chat. I always do it. Never fail, I do it. But yeah, God, dog, where the hell was I at, man? What was I talking about? I was saying something about that thing, trial. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's just how, let me fire my blunt. Hold up, let me get my blunt, man. Let me fire my blunt. That's just what that tell me. Oh God. God's child just told me. She said I was talking about Devin talking too much. Yeah, if it makes sense. I'm telling you, when he came, when they first brought him from the feds to Dallas, y'all think about it. Yellow Beezy got charged like 4 days after Devin, 5 days after Devin was there. That's when Yellow Beezy got charged. I'm telling you, Devin is the weak link. Keywan gonna put icing on the cake. But that Devin is the weak link to Yellow Beezy. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because whenever Devin hit Dallas County, like I say, Keywan wasn't even in there yet. He was still in the feds. He was still in the feds when Yellow got picked. Devin was up in Dallas County. He had just got there. He had been there not even a week. And then all of a sudden they go pick up Yellow Beezy. See what I'm saying? Come on, man. It don't take a rocket scientist to see that. It really don't. Y'all gonna see a lot of this gonna come out. I might be wrong in some spots, but I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna be right in some spots too. I sure am. And I hope like hell that they be able to, you know what I'm saying, tie anybody to it that was involved in it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that you sent one now, but I just can't see what it is. But I see it when I scroll down on the phone. So yeah, shout out to you for that. For sure. What God's child? Did you say something to me, God's child? They both get yelling, man. He could. Yeah, that's what I say, God's child. I say that too. It ain't no, how can you, I don't care if they already got, we heard them say they already got Yellow Beezy withdrawing $40,000. But it could be used for anything. Don't get me wrong. But with them saying, yeah, he paid, that's all it take. You don't need nothing else. You don't need no middleman saying bodega pass this, that. All you need is Keywan, which is the shooter, and the one that was with him, which was Devin. If they both bring up Yellow name and say that's who was gonna paying for the hit, he going down just off their word, off what they said, off the shooters. You think them white people not gonna take the people and the shooters is telling them this is who's paying us? You think they not finna make sure he go to jail? Come on, man. Y'all, man, you can't mess with Texas like that, man. I'm telling you, y'all keep thinking it's a game. Keep thinking it's a game. Y'all gonna see how serious this gonna get. This is a murder for hire case. It's higher, and it's a way worse a case than y'all thinking it is. And for them people to charge you with that, they have evidence to charge you with that. They have proof. All they got to do is prove it to a juror that you the one that did it. And you know how they gonna prove that? If a juror hear the shooter telling you, this is who paid me. If the jury hear the shooter's associate say, yeah, that's where some of the money was coming from. That's who was supposedly paying. That's all they need. They don't need nothing else, nothing to convict them. See what I'm saying? That's real deal talk there. I'm telling you, that's real deal talk. They can make him look bad just off the shooter's word because they looking at them as the shooters. That's how the opposite color is looking at them. Like they some M's, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if they telling them, yeah, that's who paid us, then they getting that distilled in their mind. I don't care what you say, they gonna have that in the back of their mind. If the shooter is telling you this, he's giving your statement before the jury saying that that's who it, That's who gonna go down for it. Straight up. Ain't no and if or buts. Now everybody say they know nothing, and his name don't come up, and now he might got a shot at it like that. But I still say them people gon' if he was to beat it, them people gonna pick it up. They already want to get everybody anyway. But the only reason they teaming up, and you really don't see the federales letting their witnesses, like team up with the state and take care of the federales like to take care of their business on their own. They don't like to involve the state. You see what I'm saying? The state, they scared of them. They don't want them involved. But they working together with their witnesses right now. And the only reason they working together is because that murder for hire case, if they convict Yellow Beezy, they can really give him life or death. Simple as that. So the feds looking at it as like, that's a stiff case if we do it like that. If y'all can get them convicted like that, do it. But if y'all don't make us step in and take care of that, because we gonna rake up everybody. Y'all know how they do it. At Coffee Time, not telling you nothing wrong. Yeah, I know, God's child. I appreciate it. You always do. You always come through. I just looked at the chat just now. My bad. Like seriously, my bad. But yeah, you always right there with Coffee. You right there. You don't even have to explain it for sure. Coffee, see who right there for sure. No doubt. Not at all. Well, yeah, man, it's crazy work, man. It's gonna be some real crazy work, with this trial going on. I just feel like it's gonna be a lot of people that got down, stuff finna start coming out for one. Stuff finna definitely start coming out piece by piece. Y'all be like, God, dog, I didn't know that part. Yeah. Yep. It's wild work, ain't it? Definitely wild work. So they gonna early in the morning, they ought to be back at it, you know what I'm saying? You got the people on the news talking about the bloggers, man. That's crazy. I'm glad they didn't say mo3 sector bloggers, because if they knew that, they would have sure said it. The mo3 sector bloggers, they would have hurried up and put that out there. Shoot, I'm glad they didn't say that. They would have made the whole sector look bad, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's always justice for mo3 over here in the Texas sector, Yeah, man, it's ops ain't over here. They ain't no mo3 ops over here. Ain't nobody got no wrench that's a op that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the ops don't hit the panel that I know of, Yeah. And Purple Kisses say justice for mo3. I feel that. I promise I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Justice for blood. For sure. God, dog. Y'all know what? I just thought about it. Where's Jackie at? Jackie been quiet as hell, huh? Ain't she usually talking around the net? What is she so quiet for? I think it's getting closer and closer, and it's here now. That's what it is. She quiet like a motherfucker. Now, don't go quiet, because when you go quiet, that's when people notice. They notice that you're getting quiet. You've been loud all this time. You and Jossie, y'all both been loud. Jossie's show been coming back, stressing her point, trying to stress her point anyway. Y'all must be over there rehearsing. Yeah, I think they over there rehearsing they script. They got a whole script they gotta remember and run. Yeah. That's crazy work. mo3 trusted the wrong females. How you gonna be a multi-millionaire and you trust some hood girls, some thugettes? You can't trust no damn thugettes like that, man. Mm-mm. They gonna do exactly what they done to mo3 when you be around them type of females. They ain't gonna do nothing but set you up, rob you, something like that. You know, that's what set up females do. And that's what Rainwater called them from the get-go. You know, he said that they was trifling. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, word must go around about him or whatever. You know, I don't know. You know, for him to call him trifling like he know him. He's scallywag. He know him, I guess, or he done heard of him. But, you know, the streets is small. When they think it's big, it's small. But the setup come from that house. That was the setup to get him right there. They sat on him till the next morning, followed him, and took care of what they had been waiting on all that time. Trap Boy Freddy on the freeway go live, letting the girls know on the cool, y'all get ready, it's bottle popping time. You know, I understand the language. And y'all ain't fooling nothing because y'all, when they connected, y'all said y'all went to the same school and stuff together. I already knew it then. You know, I already knew something was fishy about that then. Well, from what I heard, they was sleep with some nasty woman with same nasty. Who? Who slept with a woman, guys? Y'all? What you talking about? You lost me on that one. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I looked at that chat again and I forgot exactly what the hell I said. God, dog. Man, I got so much on my mind right now, and I'm trying to tell y'all, let y'all know everything, and then I'm trying to. It's just too much running in my mind right now. Every time I do that, I look at that chat, that dead go. You know what I'm saying? Because I got too much run. I really just keep going without watching that chat. I got to train myself to do that again. I used to always be able to do it. Just talk to y'all without the chat and just go. Now I got to look at the chat and I get lost in the chat. Everybody know that. I get lost in the chat. I will quickly get lost in it because I'm want to see what the hell going on. Oh, they said Rain, everyone messing with Rain was trying to sleep. Oh, yeah, I heard that. I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. I can see it now. See that phone? I can't see shit on that phone. I had to get my tablet. That phone's, that shit's small. That's what it was. They said mo3 is real. Yeah, we heard about that. That's probably true. They said, now, I don't know how true this is today, but I mean, I don't know how true this is. I'm finna tell you, but they said that Sko trying to mess with one of mo3 baby mamas, Jasmine. Or he messing with her. He messing with Jasmine or something. That's what they said. I don't know how true it is or what, you know, but yeah, a motherfucker will target one of them just knowing that they getting some money, you know what I'm saying? So it don't surprise me, you know. It don't surprise me if it's true. I be minding my business though. Yeah, gosh, I say she been heard that. Yeah, I heard it too, but they brought it back up to my memory today though. They said it again. I remember when Sko brought them on here. When he brought all three of them baby mamas on here. Man, this trial finna get some people some money too. Cause you know it's gonna be people that want to interview. I know Jossie, she gonna try to eat out mo3 name off this trial, even though she's saying she don't want to testify and all that. She gonna try to eat off his name. I guarantee you, she gonna try to line up some kind of interview. Some kind of interview she gonna try to go on. And you better not say the wrong thing on them interviews. I know that. Trying to go around getting interviewed, okay. They got something for you. That's for sure. That's all they want is money. Yeah. No doubt, Doris Child. Shoot, I guess we'll see what's gonna go down tomorrow. Go take care of the business I gotta take care of. Make sure I try to get a little rest out of this situation. And then I'll chat back in with y'all. Everybody enjoy their night, man. It's been a good coffee time. I'm up out of here.